Hi, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I'm JB Bryan of JB Bryan Financial Group. I am the Chief Investment Officer, and it's a registered investment advisory firm. I have to make sure sometimes I assume that everybody, knows who I am, but, for those of you who are my new friends, I'm so glad you're hanging out with me today and my old friends. Thank you. And happy Black History Month. I started like a minute late or maybe 30 seconds. I don't know, but I got engrossed in the Federal Reserve chairperson was actually speaking. And one of the things that she brought up was Black unemployment numbers are dramatically higher and in the country. And then a congressman, and I didn't get to hear exactly what state he was from. He started talking. I think he was from Minnesota. A Black congressman started talking about, what are some things that we're going to do moving forward for employment in the country, and that's why Afroeconomics is very important, because even the chairperson, Ms. Yellen, she mentioned that this is a crisis, this is a problem, and it is amazing how many people tell me, Afroeconomics, it doesn't matter, that everything is the same, money is money. That is so untrue. The economic situation, and that's why my book, Afroeconomics, Our Black Wealth Matters, is important for us to personalize and take personal responsibility as a Black community to realize that your wealth does matter. Our Black wealth matters. The chairperson of the Federal Reserve should not have to tell us that our wealth matters for us to know that it matters. It matters. And, that's great. It's a confirmation that she's saying that we have a huge challenge ahead of us, but let's get on board. Let's get on board. So please, check out AfroEconomics.com. Thank you for hanging out today, because this is the way. We've got to make this movement. This is my life's commitment, that I increase wealth in Black America, because it's better for our nation in general. Do you see that? They're talking about Black wealth because it's important for the entire country that we all move forward. And we're going to do that. We're going to do that. We're going to make America great again. Who said that, though? That's funny. Not to get political, but that's funny. It's a good slogan. So we're going to I encourage you to download the AfroEconomics app. I have my notes here. And then also, please, click like on the video. I love likes. It's amazing. I look at some people on YouTube and they have like 1 million people that have watched it, and it'll be like 100 likes. So I want to outdo the average like per viewer. Let's do that. We can do that. But also I did kind of throw that out there. But the Afroeconomics, Our Black Wealth Matters, the book is available on the website and on the app, which is free. So make sure you download the free app. There's also a preview of the book that's a free download for you, and then you take advantage of that, because this week that Money Matters for the Grown and Sexy is about legacy, and legacy is the first principle. I've structured the book so that it's basically like a workshop, that it's a workbook that you can write in it. We have a note section after every chapter. It's for your empowerment. It is my footprint that I want to leave on the planet, because tomorrow is promised to no one. So that's why Money Matters for the Grown and Sexy is important. And we're going to even talk more about it on February 20th. So I want you to come out and let's talk about the history of Black wealth and how we're going to take it and move forward. So we're going to have a historian, King Kalfani, is going to talk about the history. Then we have some professionals like AJ Nunley and Marcus Rice. They're both in AJ is in mortgages. Marcus is in a real estate broker. We have Pastor Ralph Hodge of Second Baptist, where is going to be there. So come out to the event so that you can find out about events that you could do, at your home church. So people all over the country are coming out. My motorcycle club, Black Eagle Riders, they're coming out. We have some fraternities that are saying they're coming out. So it's going to be a great opportunity to enhance ourselves. That's what we want to do. Bring the entire family. It's free. Hey, it's free. So and knowledge is power. So the money matters for the grown and sexy. Let's talk about it. What about the first thing I wanted to really emphasize is that when we get to this point in our life, and I'm talking about people in their 40s, 50s, 60s plus, that we want to think about protecting ourselves and our family, protecting ourselves and our family. And the more you protect yourself, the better off your family is. I mean, you got to know that you are important to your family. So in protecting yourself and your family, we're going to think about things like loss of income. You know that if you were to become disabled, how are you going to make sure that your bills are continue to be paid? A disability, long-term care, long-term care insurance. You know if you making sure that you're able to pay your bills if something were to happen to you right now, today. What bills do you have? Don't think of, well, in a couple of years, this will be paid off. But no, what if it happened today? How are you going to replace your income? What things do you have in place to take care of that? Looking at the fine print on the things that you have in place. I hate the surprises. I hate the phone calls when they say, well, JB, I thought that I had it, but I found out that it only paid out blah, 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 or it only paid for blah, 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 So let's make sure that we check out what we have. A big emphasis in the book that I've written is about looking at the fine print. Being a victim is expensive. Victims don't get any money back for being a victim, so we can't afford to be a victim. We're not going to be a victim. We're just going to check it out. So if you heard this, then it's time for you to check it out. If you're assuming that you have some sort of coverage already in place, make sure you get the details on it. You can always bring it in so that your analyzer, that your financial analyst can check it out for you. It can be checked. If you're working with someone that won't do you that courtesy, you're working with the wrong person. What about, we're just talking about loss of income. So make sure that you check out how you're going to replace your income. What about loss of life? Do you have proper insurance coverage? Do you have proper life insurance coverage? Not that you went on TV and you saw the commercial and you bought this insurance and yes, I have insurance, or I got my job and I have insurance. Nope. Again, look at the details. How much do you have? So when I get to this question, I'm asking people questions. I go, how much insurance do you have? And they go, oh, I think it's one, or maybe it's twice or two times of my income. I think, or do you have it on your spouse? Well, I think, I'm not sure. No. These are the type of things you have to know. You have to know beyond a shadow of a doubt. What things, because you're grown and you're sexy now. Now it's time. You have to know these things. No more that I think, no things, nothing. You have to know, and you have to know where they are and have a little section set up in your house. You got to be organized. Organize, a major principle in AfroEconomics, your organization. You got to have it. So the loss of income, loss of life, all of us grown folk got to have that stuff covered. What about in insurances I have? But that's when loss of income, loss of life, basically you're going to cover that with your insurances, or you're going to have so much assets, so much investments accumulated that it's generating enough income that it takes care of you and you're financially independent. If you're not financially independent, where you have sources of income that are taking care of these things through your investments or through your royalties or through your properties, or if you don't have those, the income already coming in through your investments, then you're not financially independent yet, so you can use the insurances to take care of those needs. That's what they're there for. Some people are self-insured because they're completely financially independent and they can cover those things because of their investments. And then, so what about your health? Your health, that's important, right? Your health. And when I think about your health, I'm thinking about you taking control of the habits that you have. Right? What habits do you have that are pulling away from your health? Principle number 10 in AfroEconomics is our Black health, our Black wealth. Our Black health, Black wealth. They go together, because if your health is deteriorated and you've allowed it and it's come and your health is out of control because of some habits that you have, you're in a position to change those things and change that around, because your health really impacts your wealth. We really take that for granted because we think that they're not connected, but they do. Your health, your habits that you have right now in your 30s, 40s, 50s are impacting how you feel in your 70s, 80s, 90s, or if you live to see 100. So we want to make sure that we are in tune with what those habits, what those health habits are. Are you stressing out all the time? Bad health decision. Are you smoking, drinking all the time? What are you doing with your health? Are you taking your walks? Are you exercising? Are you doing things? Are you doing your yoga? You're working on your flexibility. Are you working on you? Are you working on you? That is very important. You'll see in the book some research that was done that shows how when you look at the numbers statistically, that the Black community, we're being impacted by health issues so early in our life that it's forcing us to get out of the workplace sooner, because we're young and disabled sooner, unfortunately, in many cases. But it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way. We can change that. We can change that. So we're going to create better habits for our health right now. As a grown person, change habits and it change your life, and it will change and enhance your wealth. It will continue to enhance it. Relationships. Do you have positive relationships, or do you have relationships in your life that are reducing your wealth, that are pulling away from your health, that are pulling away from your ability to be happy and healthy over the long term? What type of relationships do you have? Do you know that most millionaires plus, like people that are in high net worth, that they're actually they tend to be the ones who actually have never been through a divorce? In most cases, they're the ones that haven't been through the divorce. So if you have been through a divorce, like many of us have been, then we know how those type of situations, those type of things can really impact your income. They can pull away from your ability to create wealth. They can pull away. Some people have had to split their assets in half, and it's gone, everything that you worked for has gone a totally different direction, and gone to the benefit of someone else. That hurts, but that you can recover from those things. But you have to make sure that we're very careful about the relationships that we have, and the relationships, because sometimes the situation is so bad that you really are helping yourself by failing fast. Some people drag it out so long that it deteriorates their health and their wealth. And then basically some people it kills by having really bad relationships. So take your relationships seriously. Make sure that you're talking with your spouse or your partners about what before you even marry someone. Make sure you take it very seriously and what you're doing. That too often people marry one another and they don't know about the spending habits of the other person. Someone was telling me the other day a story that someone was telling them that they spend a lot of that this girl that they like was saying that she spends a lot of money and that she has a really bad spending habit. I mean, that she's telling him all these things at the beginning, and I said, just make sure you're listening and accepting what she's saying. Because you think it's cute now, but make sure that is in line with what you want for your future, that she understands your financial priorities. And it could be flipped, where there could be women and you meet someone, and I've met many women and they're all about moving forward, and the man that they love is not about that. He's about getting more rest, playing games, looking at video games, and that's what he enjoys doing. And these type of wealth development things and going to workshops and talking about financial planning and making sure that the kids go to college and all that, that might not be, and it's not a priority for this person. Keep it real. You're grown now. Is it going to work over the long term with that person? So if you have a chance to make better decisions about relationships, do it, because it's expensive trying to change things later. So be conscious and take it serious, the people that you hook up with. That's all I gotta say about that. So what about, so that's relationships. And then retirement, interesting enough though, that retirement versus financial independence. I like to think about financial independence because I don't really think about stopping work. I believe that I get better at what I do the older that I get. Look, so I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. Look, that I want to do this for the rest of my life. I love it, as I hope you can tell. I love what I do for a living. So, and the more I'm in it, the better my understanding of it. So I feel that the financial independence is indeed something that I want. Retiring is more for someone who's at a job and they don't like it and they want to get out of that job, and they hopefully are thinking about what they're going to do after they leave that job. So they're going to see what they can do to maximize the income from that investment. Because even when you work for someone, you're investing your life, your time into that position. So sometimes the best thing that you can do, not even sometimes, all the time, the best thing that you can do for yourself is make sure that you are saving a portion of that salary for your future, so that it will generate income for you for the rest of your life after you leave that place, right? So you have to, so retirement, you need to, things that you need to think about is, what plan do they have available for you at work? When you have access to that retirement plan at work, do they have a pension? Do they have a 401k? Do they have a Roth? Do they have IRA? What do they have available for you to save for your retirement at that current job? Say you have a job, you're grown and sexy, the job doesn't have any retirement plan available, but you love it, they pay you a lot. Well, that means you need to be talking to a financial professional about what you can set up for yourself. And there's a lot of things you can do, no excuses. You can save for your own retirement, and we can all be focused on financial independence. And I'm gonna tell you a secret. To me, the easiest and the best way to make sure that you are financially independent is to make sure that you do not accumulate unnecessary debt. Make sure you don't accumulate unnecessary consumer debt. Avoid it. Avoid it. All right. So also grown and sexy thing to think about as we get to it, as we get to an end. Let's think about, if you own your own business and you're grown and you're thinking about, what am I going to do when I get to, I don't want to go into the business every day, something like that, you're thinking about, I might want to sell the business one day. Well, you need to think about what you want to do with your business way in advance from when you're so old that they're trying to push you out of the way of the business. But you need to think about, what is your succession plan? What is your transition plan? What comes next for your business? How do you want to handle your plan? How do you want to handle your business? Do you know the value of your business? And I am the type of professional that you should be sitting down talking to about, how do I value my business? I work on business valuation as a registered investment advisor. A major part of your net worth as a business owner, for you grown folk, is that your business has value. How to make sure your business has value requires planning. It requires planning, just like when you work for someone, making sure that you have money for your retirement requires planning. A key here, though, is that in many situations of people who have businesses, and you may have a partner or an investor in your business, and that you both want to protect yourself if something happens to the other, you may want to get insurance on each other, have life insurance on each other that will pay out, will give you, say you live and your partner passes away, then you will be able to buy from your partner's family their portion of the business. So, but that requires planning, and that requires good health, so that the insurance isn't extremely expensive. I remember one time I was speaking with an entrepreneur, and I really like to keep it real. And he was extremely heavy. And I was explaining to him that, insurance, is more expensive, when you're heavier, and that we have to make sure that we'll be very creative in picking the proper products so that you have the proper coverage. So that's where your health becomes very important, because especially when we're business owners, it's easier to pick up habits because we tend to work a lot and then not think about the importance of exercise and importance of, even though you're going to all these luncheons or dinners and things like that, that we have to be very selective in our food choices. 10 years ago, I was a very heavy person, and by the grace of God, I really had to refocus on my health for my sake and for my child's sake, that I had to say that I wanted to make some healthier choices. And things that I used to enjoy, have become things that I would never even consider, doing bagels and donuts and, muffins for breakfast anymore. But, back in the day, that was it. I would tear some bagels up. So we have to, realize that everything that we do has a wealth connection to it. And that if you are really considering how to use insurances for in a business or in any situation, even for each other. I think some of you have probably seen, now that we're talking about the grown and sexy, that for grown folk, having the proper insurance coverage, if you have health issues and you're using a lot of medicines and things like that, it becomes expensive. And if you do a life insurance, if you do a life insurance, we're talking about life insurance that doesn't have a health check, you're usually talking about a smaller policy, a less effective, and you're not getting as much coverage, but it's just a policy that would just pay for, say, bury you. So you're all excited because you think, oh, I have it, and they didn't do a health check. That's not necessarily good. You're better off getting a very legitimate policy with a health check that has proper coverage for you. And meanwhile, and if you can't, and you have these health issues, what does that do? That means that our investing and saving become even more important. That means keeping down your debt becomes even more important. If so, we need to really keep that. That's why I really want you to check out the book. Really check out the book. Check out AfroEconomics, Our Black Wealth Matters. Go to AfroEconomics.com. And get the book, and we're gonna break this down together. But each week I'll be right here, and next week I'm gonna be talking to all the guys. We're gonna have everybody that's on our Black Wealth History event for February 20th is going to be on our show next week. So but we're gonna continue to talk, as and the emphasis of this, especially for this month, is about legacy, and that's the first principle of Afroeconomics, is what type of footprint do you want to leave on the planet? And it's very important, and you're worthy of that. And it's not just about money. Leaving a good name and good habits and you just leaving a good impression of you on your family and these type of good practices, because everybody's not going to be rich, but everybody is in a position to make their world the best that it can be. I'm JB Bryan, and I'm the President and Chief Investment Officer of JB Bryan Financial Group. And this is AfroEconomics, and we were just talking about money matters for the grown and sexy. Email me at jb@jbbryan.com. Let me make sure I check my notes, and then we're going to February 20th. You know about that. Download the AfroEconomics app. It's free for your smartphone, and it will give you a reminder of our events. And then please click like on the video. I love to be liked. And subscribe to the AfroEconomics with JB Bryan YouTube channel. Have a wonderfully blessed day. God bless you all. Talk to you soon. Bye.